Hello, Internet. This is going to be the final Nationals preview video, I suppose, seeing as we've got Milan coming up this next weekend. Now, I've got two of my friends with me. I've got Jake, White Afro King 92. Hello, Jake.
Hello.
Whose crowning achievement was top-cutting Germany last year. You're very proud of that, aren't you, Jake?
Yeah, it's the one thing I'm still clinging on to.
And we've got Nigel as well, Wyrms again. Hello, Nigel.
Hello.
Who obviously writes these preview articles for Nugget Bridge as well, and hopefully you might be seeing this video in that article as you listen with your very ears now. But just before we get into talking about the UK National and the Milan National coming up, I just want to point you towards my little article that's gone on Nugget Bridge recently. I'm sure you've probably seen it. I'm sure you've probably seen that I've put the videos online, basically covering my whole Lightbird Beryllium team. So we've got an introduction, got all the EVs and everything, all the videos in there. So feel free to have a look at that if you haven't already. The Terrakion here, one of my favourite sets, one of my favourite little additions with Rock Tomb on there. This Terrakion video's actually got the least out of all of them, so go and give Terrakion some love. He needs some views, I think. But let's just start by talking about the UK National, I suppose. So I've got the page open here. Hopefully we can see. Yeah, we can see all of this. These are the teams of the top cut players. So what were your reflections on the UK National? Go. Jake.
I think it was probably the strongest Nationals final that we've seen in Europe, to be honest. So? I think so, yeah. I mean, in terms of who was in the final, you've got a former national champion and a former world champion against each other, and there's not many times that you'd be able to see that in a national final.
Yeah, I mean, Pokemon's one of those games where people question how valid it is as a competitive game, I guess, because there's all of these RNG and luck aspects. But for Yoshi, Arash, Marcus Arash, and Billa to be in the top three there, just kind of shows that there is some consistency in the game. I mean, I do remember sitting, because my team is down here. I'm at lowly 34th with good old Scizor and Lipid and everything. Sitting at the table waiting for the Top Cut games to start, and there was quite a lot of UK guys. I remember saying to Jamie, who I was sitting next to at the time, I remember saying to him, in front of everyone else, so I hope I didn't offend anyone. I feel like I probably did. I said that there's loads of UK guys in this Top Cut, but I'm sure that by top 8 or especially top 4, there's probably not going to be any left. I don't think the UK players are very good this year at all. So, I mean, what do you think about that? Do you agree?
I agree. I think I have to agree, really. I think in terms of countries in Europe, it's Germany and Italy that are really leading the charge. I think Great Britain has the third strongest group of players. You could argue that Spain has a stronger group, but it's a lot smaller. But I think you're right in the assessment that UK players are weaker this year than they have been in previous.
Yeah, definitely. What was you going to say, Jake?
I thought it was interesting that at the start of the season, when there was hardly any Premier Challenges in the UK compared to the others, that we went over to the Netherlands, and then obviously you won it, and then Corio was in, top 4, was it?
Yeah.
So, and Kelly, obviously, he's adopted British now, isn't he? So, and he came second?
Second.
Yeah, he was in the final.
It's interesting that we had quite a good start, despite not having as many events as the other countries.
Did a British chap win the seniors in on them as well?
Yeah.
Or was that on my imagination?
Yeah, it was Whooper King, wasn't it?
Oh, was it?
Wasn't he against Aaron in the final as well?
Oh, yeah, I seem to remember that, yeah. So, well remembered, actually. We did pretty well in that tournament as, UK players, but what's happened since then? Well, I don't think there's any argument in the German players are definitely the best in Europe. I think maybe a reason why they are so good is because they communicate with each other probably a lot more than the UK players do. We don't have, like, as UK players, we don't have a big, group chat on Facebook or a UK group on Facebook or anything like that, do we? But the German guys do. They all communicate with each other, and like, not that I'm part of the group or anything, but I'm pretty sure they communicate a lot better with each other than we do. So maybe that's something that we should kind of think about doing.
Yeah, I think that would be something to look into probably for future seasons, because obviously communicating, we learn more from each other than we do as a single person, really.
Yes, we do. I'm just looking at our teams now. Okay, so this is something else we was just going to talk about as well, the teams that top cut in this national, because Arash here is leading the charge with this sand team that's been imported over from Japan. So we've got the Salamence, Tyranitar, Aegislash, Azumarill, Excadrill, and Moongus. I've seen various versions with like maybe a Rotom Wash instead of Azumarill, or some other kind of water type in that slot. And we've got Sekium, the probably I think the only Spanish guy that did well in this tournament, coming in 6th. He had Tyranitar and Excadrill as well. So I do remember a few months ago now, I built a team with Tyranitar and Excadrill thinking, wow, no one really thinks about these two anymore. No one really counters these two, and it just kind of swept through a lot of people. And now that, especially because this team in Japan is just like, do you two play much now? Like, have you seen all of these sand teams as well?
Yeah, I was practicing this week, and I noticed that although Marcus actually won the nationals, everyone was using this. Like, there was a huge increase in this sand team rather than people copying what Marcus used.
Yes.
To win. I think it's really blown up since nationals.
I think probably because Cybertron actually used that Japanese, or a similar version of that Japanese sand team on his channel for a week or 2 weeks as well. So a lot of people have seen that team.
Mm. And they always seem to be using Salamence as the Mega rather than anything else. I'm just having a look through the teams, and there's like 4 Tyranitars there. One of them's not with an Excadrill, but the 3 that have all got Mega Salamence with them. So it's obviously...
Yeah, it does make sense, because anything like, thinking about my team, because I played Arash in the tournament, I've got Breloom and I've got Scizor, which are very, very good against his team. But if he's got Mega Salamence out there, he's got Hyper Voice and he's got Flamethrower. So as long as he keeps his Salamence healthy, then all of my checks to his team are checked. So it does make sense, I think, to have Mega Salamence there.
It's the first time I've actually really seen Mega Salamence used effectively this year as well.
I agree. You agree. Yeah, I never really rated Mega Salamence as being that great, to be honest, because, like, yeah, you might be able to Dragon Dance or something, but you can only ever hit one target. I mean, what's his best spread move? Like Earthquake or Rock Slide or something. He doesn't really do much apart from taking out the odd Heatran or whatever. Tyranitar, on the other hand, although it's not very good in this format, when that got a Dragon Dance up, it could drop Rock Slides, fast Rock Slides that can flinch and do a lot of damage. That's why I liked it so much last year, but that's why I wasn't so keen on Salamence Dragon Dance this year. But with this special Salamence, the Hyper Voice version, I think, yeah, I agree, it's definitely being used a lot more effectively now. So, I've got any other interesting teams in here then? I did notice, because, how long did you two stay on the Sunday of UK Nationals?
Up until about 2:30 for me.
I didn't go on Sunday. I went and got loads of food instead.
I remember a certain text message you sent me now. Okay. So I basically, as soon as I lost in the top cut, I drove home straight away and watched what I could on the stream. The stream was pretty poor, to be honest, but don't want to get too much into all of that, because there was only like one top 8 game and one the final game or something. There wasn't much being streamed, and there was no sort of announcements or anything either. But anyway, so I did see. Oh no, there must have been a top 4 game, because I saw this Dusclops team that came 4th play against Yoshi. And I did like this Hariyama, Dusclops, Cresselia sort of team, with a Mega Mawile as well, like hard trick 'em, but there's a Talonflame in there as well, which I thought was quite interesting to see do so well in the National. But, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I was actually there watching that match happen, and it was actually probably one of the best matches that I think I'd seen all weekend.
Yeah, I did enjoy watching that.
It was a masterclass of just how to sort of like beat such a very hardcore Trick Room team. So, I mean, it was a lot of thought gone into how Marcus was taking each turn. How he was breaking it apart, basically.
It was played well. I do seem to remember there were a couple of turns where Eugenio, sorry if I'm butchering your name, did make a play that I probably wouldn't have done, which I did think sort of cost him, but I do agree, it was a very entertaining game to watch, as was the final as well. But I just want to give an honourable mention to Jamie's team as well. Jamie, who was with us in the preview for the UK National video. He changed his team a little bit. He still had the Mega Blaziken and the Ferrothorn, but he added, I don't know, I can't remember what it was in Stuttgart, but he's got the Arcanine on there, and Gastrodon and Staraptor, but he brought Ditto as well. Now, I did play someone else with a Ditto in this tournament who I presume got the idea from Jamie, because the Ditto I played had a Life Orb and Jamie's had a Life Orb as well. It wasn't scarfed or sashed like you might imagine a Ditto to be. So I mean, what do you think to this Ditto business?
I adore the team, to be honest. I adored the team back in Stuttgart as well before there was a Ditto in it. But I actually tried. I took those 6, like completely robbed them.
Yeah. And
I tried them on Shodan, and I couldn't do anything with it. I was hopeless. So I have no idea how he does it.
Yeah, looking at that time, I mean, he has got a Firewater Grass in there, but then he's got another Fire and a Staraptor and a Ditto. So I'm not sure how he got 7th in this tournament, but obviously well done to Jamie. And Jamie is the only British guy that has pretty much got a flight guaranteed for Worlds this year. So, depending on how things go in Milan, the UK representation in Boston is going to be pretty poor. So, let's go Jamie. Let's cheer him on. But no, Ditto is quite interesting. I don't think Ditto can ever be the best sort of 6th choice for a team. Surely there's something better that can patch up something that you might be weak to a bit better. But he seemed adamant that Ditto was the best thing for his team because he could bring it in and like copy another Mega and fire off like a Life Orb Mega Charizard Y overheat in the sun and destroy things and stuff like that. And it seemed to work for him. So can't really say anything too bad about Ditto really. But anyway, that's the UK National. The championship points have updated now, so I've brought them up on here. Billa, again, like I said on the last video, big respect to Billa for doing so well again in this tournament. Although his top cut run in the UK was a bit strange because he played Albi Genie and then he played Matty Genie. So he played both the Genie brothers after each other, so he was pretty well prepared for both of their teams. He obviously, sought out the way to win against both of them, and then he was in the top 4, I think. I can't remember, but obviously he's got a flight. They only play with over 1,000 championship points. But then we've got basically the top 3 from the UK National here. We've got Marcus and we've got Arash in 2nd and 3rd. Matty is up there again in 5th. Jamie is in 7th. And then there's a few more down here. Interestingly, I was not expecting this at all. Look who this is in 16th place. It's me. I thought I would be well out of the top 16 after Manchester. I only got 100 points from Manchester. But I'm in the top 16 still. Now, the question is, how well do I need to do in Milan to get a flight? Now, I don't know what... I mean, I can't remember if we were sort of deliberating about this over on the last video. But what do you think, Jake? Like, have you got any guesses for the?
I really have no idea for the top 16. I really don't know.
Were we talking about this last week, Nigel?
We probably touched upon it. Yeah.
Have you got any guesses?
Well, I've done some more modelling, and I'm gonna put my foot into it. I'm thinking that 16th place is probably going to need 602 points.
602?
It's a lot. It's quite a ways down on what I was originally planning to guess. I was thinking 650, 700. But apart from like a couple of doomsday scenarios that I've come across, they're all saying that it should be 602, 612, anywhere around the 600 to 620 mark at the moment. So
well, that's interesting, because I've got 416. Now that means if I get a top 16 finish in Milan, I will go up to 616.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be really tight if I do get the top 16. And, obviously, I'm aiming to win the tournament, but
yeah, and top 60, I think is going to be around 330. So
330. How many points have you got, Jake?
I've got 236.
Ooh.
So a top 64 would make it really close for me.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty interesting. And you said that if you do get an invite towards, and you are going this year.
Oh yeah, I'm going this year. If I get one, I'm not going there to sit there and watch other people play.
Yeah.
I'm going if I get the top 60.
Yeah, no, well, I hope you do. I mean, I hope that we both end up at Worlds, because, it'd be good fun, obviously.
Some shenanigans.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we'd have to not drink so much. But anyway, so we've got the championship points sitting up here. So, yes, it is going to be interesting, because we have got, obviously, there's the Italian national, but then there is one more regional as well. There's the Bochum regional. Now, did you enter that into your equation, Nigel?
Yeah, I've accounted for that.
Okay, because I don't want to be in the position where after Milan I'm thinking, oh well, if I went to Bochum and I got 40 points, then I might have a flight, because I wouldn't want to risk that. I wouldn't want to risk another flight just for another regional. I mean, it was a bit of a stretch going to the Netherlands for that regional, to be honest, but I mean, it was the first ever, and I think we were all starved of tournaments, so we just wanted to go out there, didn't we? But well, we'll just have to see what happens, I suppose. Italian nationals coming up. Just as a side note, there has been an announcement that United States nationals, which runs in a slightly different format, it's over 2 days, or is it over 3 days actually?
It's over 3.
Is it? Because there's day 1 where the X2s all cut, and then the next day where they do a proper Swiss round with the proper top cut after that, I think. So yeah, it must be. But all Swiss rounds are going to be best of 3 in the US Nationals. So how do you think that would work if we had that over here? Would you want that, or would you not want that?
Well, I
wouldn't want it personally.
Well, I would want it, but if it was done this year, we might still be playing.
Yeah, I think so. Did you say that you would want it, Jake?
I said I wouldn't. Not if it's run under the current way that it's run in Manchester, because obviously we couldn't finish 9 rounds of best of 1. That took 12 hours, something like that, didn't it?
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
So I can't see how it would actually work at all.
Yeah, I mean, I presume there's going to be 9 rounds of Swiss in the first day of the United States Nationals. That is going to be a lot of games that they're going to be playing. Yeah. They are going to be so sick of playing Pokemon after day 1, I think. I think it's... I'm kind of torn. Obviously, yeah, the Nationals this year, especially in the UK, have been pretty poor time-wise. So there's no way we would have been able to have done best of 3 this year. But if we could, I mean, it is obviously possible. If it could, then it might... I don't know, really. I do feel good in best of 3s, so I would quite like to not be, looked out of a loss in, Swiss rounds or something. But I don't know. I mean, obviously I played at Worlds and it's best of 3 at that, but that was only 6 rounds. It did feel quite a long-ish day, but 9 rounds of best of 3. I think that would definitely take its toll. I'm not sure I would be too keen on that, but yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how it actually goes. We'll see what the reaction is to that in America.
Didn't Australia have best of 3 Swiss in their nationals last week?
Oh yeah, I think they might have done.
And I think they were quite pleased with it, weren't they? They said it was ran really well.
Ah.
Yeah, they managed to run the 9 rounds of best of 3 Swiss in the same time that it took us to run 9 rounds of a best of 1 Swiss. So it can be done. It can be done.
Yes. Oh dear. Come on. Whoever it is that organises these nationals, you really need to get your act together for the next year. But let's not dwell on that. Don't want to dwell on that. What won the Australian national? And I don't think I've seen anything about that.
I haven't seen it. I was at work when the stream was on.
Do you know anything, Nigel?
No, I'm still trying to find out the teams myself, so I have no clue at this point.
I think the only thing that I've been told about it is there was lots of sand, which I'm not surprised, to be honest. So I think, looking forward to Milan, I think we can expect lots of sand, basically. So that's that's my top tip. Watch out for sand. All right then. So, have we got any picks? You've done your article, haven't you, Nigel? Have you got any picks for us? Who do you think's going to do well in Milan?
I've put down that I said that Albi's going to win it. I think because I think he still needs championship points. I think it's only like 50, maybe 100 to get a paid invite. But once he actually knows that he's safe and got that, he'll be going ham for the title.
If he is in the same boat as me, really, there's only 24 points between Albi and me. I think a top 16. Well, it's obviously he's got more than me. A top 16 for him will be a lot more comfortable than a top 16 for me. But I think a top 16 for him will give him the flight. But he is who I was thinking as well, because obviously probably shouldn't talk about it really, but it happened last year where a lot of people just give wins away in the top cut because they're friends and basically it allows them to get a free flight. Like in Italy, Albi's going to have a lot of friends there, and so I think a lot of people are going to be pushing for him to get this top 16 finish basically. So it wouldn't surprise me if Albi does end up with a flight like his brother definitely will have over 700. Matty up there. But who else is going? Have we got anyone else that we should be keeping our eyes on?
I'm just looking through the list at the moment. I know Arash is not playing because he's helping out with the commentary on the stream that they're planning to do. So
really? Oh, I didn't know he wasn't playing.
Yeah, he mentioned it on Twitter not too long ago. So I know Marcus is going, as far as I'm aware, and so is Billa as well.
Yeah.
I think actually basically all of the top 25, apart from perhaps Jeremy Manting,
yeah.
I think everyone on that list is basically going. So it's literally going to be quite heavy on big names.
Yeah. Let's see. We've got. There's Lio here at number 11, who he needs pretty much a top 16 as well, and he'll have a flight. I would like to see Lio get a flight to Worlds. I'd like him to, go for the first time, because he had an invite he's had an invite the last 2 years, but not paid trips. So he definitely deserves to go to Worlds. I think Lio could do pretty well at Worlds because he's a very, very solid player, and in best of 3, that does kind of benefit the more solid player. There's me, obviously, on 16th. I need to do well, top 16. There's Lee on 17th, only 3 points behind me. So there's an international challenge, an international Wi-Fi challenge coming up at some point. Maybe if I get disqualified from it or whatever, if my internet drops or something, and he gets 3 points, then maybe he's going to leap ahead of me. This is where these international challenges can come into the equation, I suppose. Obviously Kelly on 19th, on 406. Who else have we got? Let's go on to the next page. I'm sure there's going to be some more players over here that can realistically go as well. Luigi, on 26th, he top cut Worlds in 2013, so a top 8 would give him a flight. Timo, obviously very good. I presume is going.
Yep.
We've got all kinds of players. Drug Duck, presume he'll go. I think he quite likes Italy, so presume he'll be going.
Miguel Marti.
Sekium has only got 302 points. I guess he's not been playing in the circuit.
No, he's only played. He only played UK Nats and the International Challenge, from what I gather.
Yeah, with a mighty 302 points there.
Yeah.
Eloy on 42nd with just under 300 points.
I mean, there's Deflo there as well on 48.
Yeah.
Nemanja Porengan.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, 47th. Quite hoping he does well, actually. But then again, I'm biased. He was a Miss Strolton Jets teammate, so I've got to have my own bias.
Yeah. Oh, there's already rumblings about NPA 4, but we'll talk about that another time, maybe.
Yeah.
But there's all kinds of players. I mean, I suppose at the beginning of this season, we were saying, I know I was saying that, the typical line of, it's so open, it's hard to predict, blah, blah, blah. But we've got Billa, we've got Marcus, we've got Arash, we've got Matty, we've got Lio and Albi, and, me, I suppose, in the top 16. So there's quite a lot of players in the top 16 there that you probably would have expected to be there. And obviously Lee, on 17th as well. All these good players. So I suppose that is a reflection that these players have been to all of the nationals so far, but also that they are, consistent and strong enough to get the performances to put them up there. So maybe it isn't so hard to predict as we was saying at the beginning. But what else are we going to talk about? There's the whole Bochum regional after the Milan National, and there is the Wi-Fi tournament as well. For the players in the UK, do you know, Jake, if there's going to be any more Premier Challenges?
I heard rumours of another Sutton Coldfield one.
Oh, okay, that'd be good.
I don't know whether that would actually happen.
I really hope it will, because
I was speaking to the Sutton group at Nationals, and they said that they wanted to do another one before Worlds.
Yeah.
But whether it will actually happen, I don't know.
Well, before Worlds is one thing. It needs to be before the the cut-off.
Yeah, before the cut-off,
doesn't it? Yeah, because obviously, like my car broke down, didn't it, before the Sutton Coldfield Premier Challenge the other week, and if I had got just a few more points, like if I'd got a top 4 or whatever, or even won that tournament as well, I would have been in such a stronger position championship points wise, because I don't really like the 416. Like I'd be more comfortable with a 430 or something like that. But it's going to be tight.
Your car breaking down did give me a much cleaner run into second place because you didn't show up. So I was thankful.
What happened? Who was in the final of that tournament?
Brandon.
Oh, Tokel, wasn't it? Yeah.
With his cute charm shenanigans.
Oh yeah, he used that in Stuttgart, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember he came over bounding over in between Swiss rounds, and he said, I've been waiting all day for this to happen, and showed us a video of this Kangaskhan hitting his Clefable and getting cute charmed.
That's exactly what happened to me in the final.
That's pretty unfortunate, but it's like effect sport among us, really, isn't it? But
pretty much, yeah.
I do like unaware. I have used Clefable a bit. I do like unaware Clefable, just because, like, you got a scissor setting up in front of you, then it can't one shot you with a bullet punch. Anything setting up really, it just sort of laughs at. So I do quite like it. But anyway, getting a little bit sidetracked with Clefable talk. So, well, what do you think? Are you feeling good going into the tournament, Jake?
Does that sigh sum it up?
Yeah. I'm
not feeling great, but I'll give it a go.
Do you know if there's going to be a stream, Nigel?
Yeah, I don't have a link to provide at the moment, but once I actually find out, I'll literally post it somewhere and forward it around. So
Okay, so there is going to be a stream then.
As far as I'm aware, there's going to be a stream. It will be primarily in Italian, though, so...
Okay, well, it doesn't matter about that, does it? As long as we can see what's going on.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
Alright, so there's going to be a stream, so you're going to be, presume you're going to be watching it?
To the best of my ability, as long as I'm not working too much.
Yeah, oh, do you work at weekends?
I work at weekends.
Alright, yeah, so yeah. Yeah, I think you were saying about getting time off to go to the UK National and everything, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yes, alright, well, I'm looking forward to it, actually. Like, as much as, as depressed as I probably sounded after the UK National, I can't remember, like, I must have waffled on about something on one of those videos, saying that I was either going to not play at all, just take a break, and just jump into it just before the tournament, or spend the 2 weeks in between UK and Italy building another team. Well, one of those things has happened, and and I'm looking forward to this tournament now. I really am. So obviously I'll be disappointed if I don't do very well, but maybe it was my own fault in my bad performance in Germany and quite poor in UK as well. So maybe I can't complain too much if I don't get a flight, but. I'm looking forward to Milan. If I do well, if I get a flight, then fantastic. If I don't, then maybe I'll put my feet up Pokemon wise and do something else for the rest of the year. Who knows? But either way, I'm happy either way now. I think I don't want to get too depressed either way. So let's see what happens. I suppose. I bet it's going to be hot in Milan as well. I remember it being pretty warm last year. But,
yeah, I'm gonna only pack shorts and tempt fate, so it'll probably rain now.
Yeah, that's good thinking. Actually, I'm wearing some shorts at the moment, so I was thinking, need to wash them if I'm gonna take them. But that's a different conversation as well. So, yeah, seeing as we're talking about washing shorts, I think that's probably it for this video. I think we've exhausted what we're talking about. So
yeah.
So alright then, so thanks for watching this, guys. Hopefully you've found it somewhat amusing, entertaining, enlightening, either of those or all of the above. But alright, do you want to say goodbye, guys?
Bye.
See you later, guys, and have fun in Milan, you two as well, and everyone else who's going.
Yeah, we'll try to. I'm sure it'll be fun. Milan, it's a strange tournament. I've been to Milan twice for nationals. In 2013. It was my best ever nationals performance. I won this DS that I've been playing on ever since. And then the next year, last year in Milan, it was like my worst national run. And I was very depressed afterwards. So who knows what's going to happen. Either it's going to be fantastic or it's going to be a disaster. It's going to go one way, but it's the end of the season afterwards if I don't get the flight. So I'm looking forward to either way, but anyway, yeah, thanks for, we've been through all this, so thanks for watching, blah, 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 and yeah, bye for now, so bye guys, bye.